Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you, thank you.
Big time stuff there. We saw all the emotions at the end of this match. What was going through your mind?
So much, so much. I think at the end of the match, my legs just kind of buckled. They they weren't working anymore, and yeah, it was an overwhelming wave of emotions, I guess. Yeah.
Great tennis, but I want to ask you too about playing on that court.
Yeah.
What did you notice? What did you take away from center court?
It was a very different experience for me from last year.
Since the Miami tournament, Eala has one of the best, if not the best, second serve returns on the WTA Tour. And she can hit any type of return from both sides. So if you as a righty serve to the Eala backhand on the deuce side, she can go Jimmy Connors style down the line or cross court. She can do the same on the ad side. She can go inside out, and her favorite return on the backhand side is the inside in. And similarly on the forehand side, her favorite return is the one on the deuce side, where the player serves slice towards the tee or towards the middle.
Tune up before Roland Garros. What specific areas of Eala's clay court game do you see still needs the most improvement?
I think there's some improvement to be made, in particular with Alex's movement, specifically a little more development with the sliding technique, that being sliding into shots from corner to corner. In particular, when I watch Alex play, on a few occasions her movement out of the corners was a little stuttered due to slightly ineffective sliding, leaving her a little bit exposed when trying to retrieve her opponent's next.
Imagine walking into Wimbledon expecting to watch another routine match, only to realize you're witnessing the rise of a future superstar. Before the first point had even been played, something unusual was happening. The stands were filling up much faster than anyone expected. Television cameras kept scanning the crowd. Fans proudly waved Philippine flags from every corner of the stadium, and the excitement kept growing with every passing minute. But why? What made thousands of people so desperate to watch a young player who wasn't even one of the tournament favorites? The answer goes far beyond rankings, statistics, or headlines. Because this wasn't just another tennis match. This was the moment Alex Eala proved she had become one of the biggest attractions in world tennis. And once you understand everything that happened behind the scenes, you'll never look at her journey the same way again. When the match finally ended, emotions completely took over. Alex Eala's legs gave way beneath her as she struggled to process what had just happened. The pressure, the intensity, and the overwhelming atmosphere had pushed her to the limit. After the match, she admitted, "So much was going through my mind. At the end, my legs just buckled. They weren't working anymore. It was an overwhelming wave of emotions." Those words perfectly captured what millions of viewers had just witnessed. This wasn't simply another victory. It was the reward for years of sacrifice, discipline, and belief. Playing on Wimbledon center court is a dream shared by almost every professional tennis player, but standing there is something completely different. When asked what it felt like to compete on the most famous court in tennis, Eala revealed something that surprised many fans. She explained that this year felt completely different from her previous appearance. Instead of allowing the occasion to overwhelm her, she convinced herself to treat it like every other match. That simple change in mindset transformed everything. She later explained that before serving, she couldn't help imagining every legendary champion who had stood on that exact baseline before her. Every Wimbledon champion. Every unforgettable final. Every historic moment. She was now part of that same story. Long before the opening serve, the atmosphere inside the stadium had already become electric. The crowd sensed something special was about to happen. It wasn't just Filipino supporters who wanted to witness history. Neutral tennis fans were equally curious. Many had followed Alex Eala's incredible rise since her breakthrough performances earlier in the season. Others simply wanted to see whether the young Filipina could once again challenge one of the sport's biggest names. Either way, nobody wanted to miss it. Sometimes statistics tell only half the story. Rankings can explain who is expected to win. But they can never explain why thousands of people suddenly become emotionally invested in one player. The atmosphere around Wimbledon made one thing incredibly clear. Alex Eala was no longer viewed as an exciting young prospect. She had become a genuine star. And perhaps even more importantly, she had become a source of inspiration for millions of people around the world. Just months earlier, only dedicated tennis fans truly understood how talented she was. Today, casual sports fans who had never followed women's tennis before were searching for her highlights, watching her interviews, and waking up in the middle of the night simply to watch her compete. That kind of popularity doesn't happen overnight. It is earned. Every breakthrough victory, every difficult loss, every hour spent training when nobody was watching, slowly built the player standing on center court that day. But this incredible story didn't begin at Wimbledon. Long before packed stadiums were chanting her name. Long before television cameras followed her every move. Alex Eala was simply a young girl from the Philippines chasing a dream that many believed was impossible. And that dream was about to take her on a journey that would completely change the future of Philippine tennis. Every success story has a beginning. And Alex Eala's journey started thousands of miles away from the bright lights of Wimbledon, in a country where producing a Grand Slam contender once seemed almost impossible. Growing up in the Philippines, Eala showed signs of extraordinary talent at a very young age. She wasn't simply winning matches. She was winning them with a level of maturity that coaches rarely see in junior players. While many young athletes relied purely on power, Alex was already thinking several shots ahead. She understood angles. She anticipated her opponent's next move. And perhaps most importantly, she never looked intimidated. Even under pressure, her body language remained calm. That mindset would eventually become one of her greatest strengths. As her reputation grew, one life-changing opportunity arrived. She earned the chance to train at one of the most prestigious tennis academies in the world, the Rafael Nadal Academy. For most young players, that opportunity alone would be considered a dream come true. But for Alex, it was only the beginning. Life at the academy was nothing like ordinary training. Every single day was a test. Every practice session demanded complete focus. Every opponent pushed her to improve. There were no shortcuts. No excuses. Only hard work. Surrounded by some of the world's most talented young players, Alex quickly realized that talent alone would never be enough. If she wanted to compete with the world's best, she would have to outwork them. Hour after hour. Day after day. Year after year. She quietly built the foundation that would later surprise the tennis world. One of the biggest lessons she learned there had nothing to do with hitting forehands or serving aces. It was learning how to stay composed when everything around you feels overwhelming. Because professional tennis isn't just a physical sport. It's a mental battle. One week, you're celebrating the biggest win of your career. The next week, you're packing your bags after a first-round defeat. Confidence can disappear in a single afternoon. Only players with genuine belief survive those moments. Fortunately for Alex, she possessed exactly that. Every setback became another lesson. Every difficult loss exposed another area that needed improvement. Instead of allowing defeats to define her, she used them to become stronger. Slowly but surely, the gap between potential and reality began to disappear. Then came the victory that changed everything. The match that forced the entire tennis world to stop and pay attention. Facing one of the biggest stars in women's tennis, very few people believed Alex Eala had a realistic chance. The predictions were almost unanimous. Experience would win. Class would prevail. The underdog story would finally come to an end. But Alex never walked onto the court believing she was there to make up the numbers. She believed she belonged. From the very first point, she played without fear. She attacked when opportunities appeared. She defended with incredible determination. And most importantly, she refused to be intimidated by the occasion. Point after point, game after game, the impossible slowly became possible. Commentators couldn't believe what they were watching. Fans inside the stadium sensed that history was unfolding right in front of their eyes. And when the final point was over, the tennis world had a brand new headline. Alex Eala had defeated one of the sport's biggest champions. It wasn't just an upset. It was a statement. A message to every player on the WTA Tour. She was no longer a promising youngster. She was a genuine threat. But perhaps the most impressive part wasn't the victory itself. It was the way she achieved it. There was no panic. No emotional collapse. No reckless shot selection. She stayed disciplined from beginning to end. Every rally had purpose. Every decision reflected confidence. And every winner sent another clear message. Alex Eala wasn't simply chasing greatness anymore. She was beginning to live it. That victory changed more than her ranking. It changed how the entire tennis world viewed her. From that moment forward, no opponent could afford to underestimate her again. And as Wimbledon approached, one question echoed throughout the tennis community. Could Alex Eala do it again? On the biggest stage of them all, but as impressive as Alex Eala's victory was, one question still remained. Was this simply the performance of an incredibly talented young player? Or was it the beginning of a future Grand Slam champion? Many respected tennis analysts, including the experts at Future Tribe, believe Alex's biggest strength isn't just her powerful shot-making. It's her tennis IQ, fearless mindset, and ability to perform under pressure against the world's best players. And if she continues developing at this pace, there's every reason to believe that even bigger achievements are still ahead. But her Wimbledon story is far from over. Because the toughest challenges and the biggest moments are still waiting. We'll break down everything that happened next in the next part. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the latest tennis stories, match analysis, and exclusive updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.